Hello, welcome to my class. My name is Madam Sania. So in our previous session, we were looking at calculation of correlation. We did the scatter diagram. So today we're going to look at the Karl-Pearson's coefficient of correlation. This is also known as the product moment coefficient of correlation. So whenever you see product moment, just know it's the Karl-Pearson's coefficient of correlation. So when you're looking at this, the formula is given by R is equals to summation of dx dy over n sigma x sigma y. So sometimes also when you see R, when it comes to correlation, just know that we're looking at the Karl-Pearson's correlation coefficient. And this is the formula. And it can be simplified to this formula here. Summation dx dy over square root summation of dx squared summation of dy squared. To me, you can always use this formula so that you don't have to go calculating the sigma x. So dx is basically deviation of mean from the values of x. So say your mean is 20 and your value of x, your mean, which is written as x bar, is 20, and one value of x is 15, and one value of x is 15. So when you want to find dx, you take the 15 minus 20. That is how you calculate deviation of mean from values of x. For dy, the deviations of mean from values of y. So you find the mean of y and then you take the deviations. So sigma x, this is the standard deviation of x, and sigma y, this is the standard deviation of y. But for this case, because this formula can be simplified to this, you do not have to find the standard deviation. So we are always, in most cases, we'll be working with this formula. Okay? So we can look at an example. So it reads, calculate the Karl-Pearson's coefficient of correlation for the following ages of husbands and wives at the time of their marriage. So here you have been told to find the correlation between the age of husband and the age of wife. So you've been told to use the Karl-Pearson. Okay? And the data that you're given, so this data, you're given the age of husbands, so these are the ages of husbands, and then the ages of wife, so these are the ages of wife. Till here is what you're given in the question. This is what you're going to calculate. So till here, this is what you have in the question. And then you'll be told you find the Karl-Pearson's coefficient of correlation. First things first, if they don't tell you what x is and what y is, you should mention it in your working. You can say, let age of husband be x and let age of wife be y. But you have to write it. You have to write let age of husband be x, let age of wife be y. And then now when it comes to calculating, we know this is our formula. So we have summation dx dy over square root summation dx squared dy squared. So to me, we have to find what dx is, what dy is. Okay? So and we say dx is the deviation of the mean from the values of x. So when you come to calculating dx, before you even calculate dx, you have to find the mean of x. And our x are the ages of husbands. How do you find the mean? You add, you sum this, you divide by the number of observations. This is the formula for mean. X bar is equals to summation of x over n. Summation of x, so these values of x you add 23 plus 27 plus 28 all the way to plus 38. You get 300. Observations are the number of observations. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So you take 300 divided by 10. Your mean for x is 30. So that is what you're going to use. Tumesema dx is the deviations from the mean. Our values of x need 23. So we say you take 23 minus that. So here dx equal 23. Sorry, it will be x minus 30. So you take 23 minus 30, you get negative 7. 27 minus 30, you get this. 28 minus 30, 28 all the way till the end. 38 minus 30, you get 8. Okay? And then now you have to find dx squared. So dx squared is basically these values of dx, you're just going to square them. So negative 7 squared is 49. Negative 3 squared is 9. Negative 2 squared is 4. All the way till the end. 8 squared is 64. So, and then you have to find dy. dy is the same way you're doing for x. Deviations of mean from values of y. How do you find dy? You first have to find the mean of y. How do you find the mean of y? Formula y bar is summation of y over n. Summation of y. How do you get summation of y? You go to your values of y, you add all these values, 18, 20, 22, you add them. What do you get? 250. You divide by n. N is the number of observations. You divide by 10, so your y bar is 25. So when you come to do dy, you take the values of y minus values of y minus 25. So these are our values of y. 18 minus 25 is negative 7. 20 minus 25, negative 5. 22 minus 25, negative 3. You do that for all these values till the end. 29 minus 25 is 4. Okay? So and then the next thing you do dy squared. So dy squared, these values of dy, you square them. So negative 7 squared, 49. Negative 5 squared, 25. All the way till the end. But remember, in our formula, what do we need? We need dx, dy. So you take these values of dx, you multiply by these values of dy. Okay? So you take negative 7 times negative 7, you get 49. Take negative 3 times negative 5, you get 15. Negative 2 times negative 3, you get 6. You do that for all values till the end. Okay? Yes. So our formula, and then you're told summation, dx, you've already done dx, dy. This is our column for dx, dy. So when you're told you need to sum, when you see that sign, it means summation. So when you add all these values, you get 133. Okay? So in the denominator, we have summation of dx squared. We already have our column of dx squared here. So when you add these values, you get 168. And then we also have summation of dy squared. We have our column of dy squared here. When you add, you get 164. So what is left here, you're going to replace these values in the formula. So this is our formula. Summation dx over square root summation of dx squared, summation of dy squared. And when we were calculating, we got summation of dx dy as 133. This as 168 times 164, you get the square root. So when you do this, you get 0.8013. So when you look at that value, if that value, you always have to comment. When you're calculating correlation, when you do the working, you get an answer, you have to make a comment. So for this case, 0.8. 0.8, you comment by saying there's a high degree of positive correlation between age of husband and wife. If you had gotten, say when you calculated, you get negative 0.8, you will say there's a high degree of negative, okay? Because you're getting a negative answer. If you get a positive answer, it is positive correlation. If you get a negative answer, it is negative correlation. Say you calculated and got 0.4. This is going to be low degree. So if you get, because if you look at here, properties of R tumesema is the Kern Pearson. It ranges between -1 and 1. So when you calculate, anytime you calculate Kern Pearson, if you get an answer that is more than 1, maybe it's like 1.2, just know you put in a wrong answer. Or you get an answer that is more than -1, maybe -1.7, just know your answer is already wrong. Your answer should range between -1 and 1. Sawa? And then the other property is it's independent on change in origin and scale, and it also has symmetry. Symmetry to be, when you take correlation of x to y, it should be the same as y to x. So for our example, if you're looking at the correlation between husband and wife, it should be the same as wife and husband. So that is symmetry. Those are the three properties. And then we have assumptions. We have assumptions in this calculation. One, it is linear relationship between the variables. They assume there's a linear relationship between the variables. And then the other one, it forms a normal distribution. So these variables, they always tend to form a normal distribution. So that is what we are doing at Kern Pearson's. And now, so just basically what you should remember, the formula, how to apply the formula, the values you get, always make a comment. If you get a negative answer, it is negative correlation. If the answer is between 0.5 to 1, that is a high degree. If your answer is less than 0.5, say maybe 0.2, 0.1, that is low degree. If you get a 0, if you get your answer as 0, that means there is no correlation. Okay? Or if you get your answer as 1 or -1, that means there is perfect. That means there is perfect correlation. And always remember to make a comment. When you get an answer, remember to make a comment. And always remember that the correlation ranges between -1 to 1. So that is all about the Karl-Pearson correlation coefficient, which is also known as the moment. Also remember that. So in our next class, we're going to look at the rank correlation coefficient. See you in our next class.